The Galactic Trade Consortium's emergency session convened in the crystal spires of New Centauri. Representatives from 47 species gathered around the massive holographic display. Fleet Admiral Krextar, his chitinous shell gleaming purple under the artificial lights, raised his primary appendage for silence.
"The situation is unprecedented,"
his voice echoed through the chamber's translation systems. Expeditions, 43 diplomatic missions, 8 scientific surveys, all sent to the same destination over the past century. His compound eyes fixed on the display, showing a small yellow star system.
None have returned.
Councillor Veshkar, her translucent form shifting nervously within her containment suit, spoke in harmonics that barely registered on most species' hearing range. The target system shows all indicators of a thriving civilization: regular electromagnetic emissions, controlled fusion signatures, orbital infrastructure, yet they refuse all communication.
"Perhaps they're hostile,"
suggested Ambassador Fane, his reptilian features creased with concern.
"Their technology appears primitive, but appearances can deceive."
Fleet Admiral Krextar's mandibles clicked in frustration.
"That's exactly the problem. By all our measurements, they should be decades behind our simplest member species. Chemical rockets, nuclear fission, basic radio communications. Yet somehow, they've made every expedition we've sent simply disappear."
If you're enjoying this story so far, consider subscribing to Apex Fleet HFY for more incredible tales of humanity's place among the stars. The holographic display zoomed in on the third planet from the star, a blue and green world covered in swirling white clouds.
"This is Terra,"
Krextar continued.
"The inhabitants call themselves humans. Population approximately 8 billion. They've achieved limited spaceflight, barely reaching their own moon.
They fight constant wars among themselves using projectile weapons and explosive devices." "Primitive indeed," mused Dr. Zeflin, his crystalline form resonating with computational frequencies.
"What could possibly happen to our expeditions? Our shields can withstand their most powerful nuclear weapons."
Councillor Veshkar's form darkened. "That's what Captain Mordek said before his diplomatic mission vanished 3 months ago. 50 ships, our most advanced stealth technology, full diplomatic immunity protocols. They entered the system and..." She gestured at empty space.
"Nothing."
The chamber fell silent, except for the gentle hum of life support systems maintaining atmospheric conditions for dozens of different species. Finally, Ambassador Thane spoke. "What does our intelligence tell us about human behavior patterns?" Fleet Admiral Krextar manipulated the display, showing surveillance footage gathered by long-range probes.
"They're chaotic, violent, and completely unpredictable.
They wage war over resources, territory, and abstract concepts they call ideologies. They pollute their own environment while simultaneously trying to preserve it. They create art and music while building weapons of mass destruction." "Fascinating," Dr. Zeflin pulsed. "A species at war with itself. Perhaps they view all outsiders as threats."
"That was our initial hypothesis," Krextar replied.
"But their communications suggest they're actively searching for extraterrestrial life. They've sent signals into space for decades, apparently hoping for contact." The paradox hung in the chamber like a toxic cloud. A species that wanted contact, but made every attempt at contact to disappear. Councillor Veshkar's form brightened with determination. "The Consortium Council has authorized one final mission. We will send the largest fleet ever assembled for a first contact scenario. 300 ships from 12 different species. If the humans have some unknown weapon or defense, we will overwhelm it through sheer numbers and technological superiority. Meanwhile, 847 light-years away, Dr. Sarah Chen walked through the underground corridors of Project Black Box, humanity's most classified installation. Built beneath the Colorado mountains, the facility had been operational for over a century, though its existence was known to fewer than 1,000 people on Earth. Status report, she called to her team of xenobiologists and military strategists gathered around banks of quantum computers. Colonel Marcus Webb, a grizzled veteran of conflicts most of the world didn't know existed, looked up from his tactical displays. Long-range sensors have detected another fleet massing near the Centauri system. This one's bigger than anything we've seen before. 300 ships, multiple species configurations. Dr. Chen nodded, unsurprised. How long until they reach our system? 18 days, assuming they use standard FTL protocols. Dr. Elena Vasquez, head of the Xenocognitive Research Division, turned from her analysis station. I've completed the psychological profiles on the new species joining this expedition. We have Krextarans, highly logical, militaristic, value direct confrontation. Veshkani, cautious but persistent. They'll probe for weaknesses. And at least 4 species we've never encountered before. Excellent, Dr. Chen smiled. More data for the archives. Colonel Webb frowned. Sarah, are you sure about this? 300 ships is a significant escalation. Maybe it's time to consider direct contact. Dr. Chen walked to the massive viewing screen that dominated one wall of the command center. Instead of showing the rocky Colorado landscape above them, it displayed a real-time tactical map of Earth's solar system. Hundreds of markers indicated hidden installations, weapons platforms, and sensor arrays that had been under construction for over a century. Marcus, what was the first rule of warfare Sun Tzu taught us? Know your enemy and know yourself. Exactly. For over 100 years, the galaxy has been sending us teachers. Every expedition, every diplomatic mission, every trade envoy, they've all contributed to our education. She gestured at the tactical display. We now understand 17 different species psychology, 23 distinct technological approaches, and 41 unique military doctrines. If you're amazed by humanity's hidden preparations, hit that like button to show your support for more stories like this one. Colonel Webb studied the display with growing unease. What happened to all those expedition crews, Sarah? They're safe, she replied. Living in habitat domes on Mars, Jupiter's moons, and several other locations throughout the system. Most have volunteered to stay permanently once they understood what we were doing. The others, she paused. The others had their memories of Earth modified before being sent home, with reports of equipment failures and navigation errors. And the galaxy still thinks we're primitive. Exactly. Which gives us the ultimate strategic advantage. They always underestimate us. Deep in the research levels, Dr. James Park worked with a team of Veshkani scientists who had chosen to remain on Mars after their failed diplomatic mission 2 years ago. Their translucent forms moved gracefully through the laboratory as they collaborated on quantum communication technology. The new fleet will likely use standard approach patterns. One of the Veshkani, who had chosen the human name Alex, communicated through harmonic frequencies. My people are cautious but predictable. They will probe your outer planets first, searching for defensive installations. Dr. Park smiled. Let them probe. The installations they'll find are exactly what we want them to see. 18 days later, the massive alien fleet dropped out of FTL at the edge of Earth's solar system. Fleet Admiral Krekstar stood on the bridge of his flagship, studying tactical displays that showed the primitive human system spread before them. "Full sensor sweep," he commanded. "I want detailed analysis of every planet, moon, and asteroid." The scanning revealed exactly what they expected: a barely industrialized system with limited space infrastructure. Earth's moon showed signs of mining operations. Mars had a few small research stations. The outer planets appeared completely untouched. "Pathetic," muttered Ambassador Fane from his position at the diplomatic station. "How could such a primitive species threaten our expeditions?" Dr. Zeflan's crystalline form pulsed with analytical frequencies. "Admiral, I'm detecting standard radio communications from the planet. They appear to be discussing weather patterns and civilian transportation schedules. No military communications detected." "Prepare to standard first contact protocols," Krekstar ordered. "Broadcast on all human communication frequencies. Let's see how they respond to overwhelming force." The transmission that reached Earth was simultaneously translated into every human language. "People of Terra, you are addressed by the Galactic Trade Consortium. Your system has been designated for incorporation into galactic civilization. Prepare for the arrival of our representatives." In the Project Black Box Command Center, Dr. Chen watched the alien fleet's formation with professional interest. They're using Krekstaran intimidation tactics combined with Veshkani cautious positioning. Textbook approach for a superior force dealing with primitives. "Should we respond?" asked Colonel Webb. "Of course. Give them what they expect." The response that reached the alien fleet came from multiple Earth governments, transmitted on primitive radio frequencies. "This is Earth Defense Command. You are entering sovereign space without permission. Please state your intentions and withdraw to a safe distance for negotiations." Fleet Admiral Krekstar's mandibles clicked with amusement. "Earth Defense Command? They actually think they can defend themselves?" He turned to his tactical officer. "How many ships do our sensors detect?" "Approximately 40 primitive chemical propulsion craft in Earth orbit, Admiral. Nothing that could threaten even our smallest escort vessel." "Excellent. Begin approach to orbital distance. Prepare for full system scan and occupation protocols." As the alien fleet moved deeper into the solar system, they triggered the first of Earth's hidden systems. What appeared to be empty space around Jupiter suddenly came alive with sensor arrays that had been disguised as asteroids for decades. Dr. Chen watched the alien formation adjust to the new sensor contacts. They're reacting exactly as predicted. Notice how the Krekstarans want to investigate immediately, while the Veshkani are urging caution. Colonel Webb studied the tactical display. The hidden installations around Saturn are still undetected. Good. Let them find Jupiter's defenses first. We want them confident. The alien fleet spent 2 days investigating Jupiter's moons, discovering what appeared to be mining operations and small research stations. Their scans revealed basic fusion reactors and elementary particle beam weapons, dangerous to primitive humans, but laughably weak against galactic standard shields. "This is almost disappointing," Krekstar communicated to his fleet. "Continue to Earth. Prepare for orbital occupation." That's when humanity revealed its first surprise. The seemingly primitive craft in Earth orbit suddenly began moving with impossible precision. Their simple chemical rockets shut down. and were replaced by exotic propulsion systems that bent space around them. Eloquent Admiral, but not the last. They had found hidden systems. What appeared to be empty space around Jupiter, what had appeared to be 40 basic spacecraft, revealed themselves as the outer shell of a much larger defensive network. "Admiral!" his sensor officer called out in alarm. "The human craft are using HFY quantum drives. How is that possible?" Before Krextar could respond, Earth's moon opened like a flower. Massive sections of the lunar surface retracted, revealing weapon emplacements and defensive systems that incorporated technology from a dozen different galactic civilizations. Dr. Chen smiled as she watched the alien fleet's panicked reactions. "Lunar Base, you are authorized to begin demonstration protocols." Captain Lisa Rodriguez, commanding the lunar defense platform, had been waiting for this moment for 3 years. "All stations, this is Lunar Command. Commence educational exercise." The weapons that emerged from the moon weren't designed to destroy the alien fleet. They were designed to demonstrate capability. Precision energy beams disabled shields without damaging hulls. Tractor systems based on modified Veshkani technology caught ships in gentle but inescapable gravitational fields. And through it all, Earth continued broadcasting on those primitive radio frequencies. "Alien fleet, this is Earth Defense Command. You are trespassing in our territory. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." But the truly shocking revelation came when the aliens realized their own communication systems were being monitored and decoded in real time. Every tactical discussion, every strategic decision, every panicked report was being understood and countered before they could implement it. Fleet Admiral Krextar stared at his displays in disbelief. How are they understanding our communications? Our encryption is quantum-based, theoretically unbreachable. Dr. Zeflin's form flickered with computational overload. "Admiral, I'm detecting that they're using our own quantum communication protocols against us. This should be impossible unless..." The terrible truth began to dawn on the alien commanders. The humans weren't just defending themselves, they were using technologies and tactics from every species that had ever visited their system. "The missing expeditions," whispered Councillor Veshka. "They didn't destroy them. They learned from them." In the Project Black Box Command Center, Dr. Chen opened a secure communication channel to the alien fleet. For the first time, she spoke directly to the galactic representatives in perfect Krextaran, with subtle Veshkani harmonic undertones that demonstrated respect for all species present. "Fleet Admiral Krextar, I am Dr. Sarah Chen, Director of Earth's First Contact Protocol. Your fleet is now completely within our defensive perimeter. Your ships are disabled but undamaged. Your crews are unharmed. We invite you to discuss the future of human-galactic relations." The communication channel remained open as Dr. Chen continued. "For over a century, the galaxy has sent us teachers. Every expedition, every diplomatic mission, every attempt at contact has contributed to our understanding of galactic civilization. We have learned your languages, studied your technologies, and come to appreciate the diversity of intelligent life." She paused, allowing the translation systems to catch up. "However, we have also learned that the galaxy tends to view less advanced species as subjects for conquest or assimilation. This is not acceptable to humanity." Colonel Webb stepped forward. "What we offer instead is partnership. Voluntary cooperation between equals. We have something the galaxy needs. Perspective from outside your established power structures. You have something we need. Knowledge of the broader universe." The alien fleet found itself in an unprecedented situation. They were completely outmaneuvered by a species they had considered primitive. Yet that same species was offering them alliance rather than conquest. Here's where I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you were in Fleet Admiral Krekstar's position, would you accept humanity's offer of partnership? Or would you try to warn the galaxy about this hidden threat? Let me know what you think. Fleet Admiral Krekstar made a decision that would change galactic history.
Dr. Chen, I accept your invitation to discuss terms. But I must ask, what happens to those who refuse your offer of partnership?
Dr. Chen's voice remained calm and professional. Those who choose to leave may do so with their memories of Earth's true capabilities removed. They return home with reports of successful first contact and establishment of trade agreements with a primitive but promising species. This maintains the galaxy's current perception of humanity while protecting our security.
And those who stay?
Become part of the most comprehensive xenocultural research project in known history. We're building a new model for interspecies cooperation, one based on mutual respect rather than technological dominance. Over the following weeks, the alien fleet was given tours of Earth's hidden installations. They saw cities on Mars where dozens of species worked together on advanced research projects. They visited the Jupiter shipyards, where human engineers collaborated with Zefkani crystalline computers to design spacecraft that incorporated the best technologies from across the galaxy. Most impressive of all, they met the thousands of individuals from previous expeditions who had chosen to make the Sol system their permanent home. These volunteers had become Earth's unofficial ambassadors to galactic civilization, providing crucial insights into alien psychology and culture. Dr. Elena Vasquez explained the program to a group of amazed alien observers. We don't just study your technologies, we study how different species think, what motivates them, how they solve problems. This knowledge has allowed us to create hybrid approaches that are often superior to any single species methods. Fleet Admiral Krekstar found himself in lengthy discussions with his own missing predecessor, Captain Mordek, who had supposedly vanished 3 months earlier. "Why didn't you return and report this?" Krekstar demanded. Mordek's compound eyes reflected a contentment Krekstar had never seen in their species. "Because I realized something important. The galaxy's approach to new species is fundamentally flawed. We either conquer them or absorb them into existing power structures. The humans offer something different. True partnership where each species contributes their unique strengths." As the alien representatives prepared to make their individual choices, Dr. Chen addressed them one final time. "The galaxy stands at a crossroads. You can continue the old patterns of dominance and submission, or you can join us in building something new. A confederation of equals, working together to explore the universe and solve the great challenges facing all intelligent life." The results were remarkable. Nearly 60% of the expedition members chose to remain in the Sol system, becoming permanent residents and researchers. The others returned to their home worlds with carefully edited memories, carrying reports of successful first contact with a cooperative primitive species eager for galactic guidance. Within 5 years, official human colonies began appearing throughout the galaxy. Primitive settlements that were actually advanced research stations staffed by humans and their alien partners. These colonies reported regularly to the Galactic Trade Consortium, providing exactly the kind of information the galaxy expected from a newly contacted species. But hidden beneath this facade of primitive expansion, a new kind of civilization was taking shape. One where the strength of each species was multiplied by cooperation with others, where problems were solved through the combined wisdom of dozens of different perspectives, and where the universe's mysteries were explored by minds freed from the limitations of single-species thinking. Dr. Chen stood on the observation deck of New Geneva Station, orbiting Saturn, watching construction crews that included members of 23 different species working together to build humanity's first official deep space exploration vessel. The ship would be launched publicly as Earth's primitive attempt at interstellar travel. In reality, it would be the most advanced exploration platform in galactic history, capable of investigations that no single species could accomplish alone. Colonel Webb joined her at the viewing port. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we'd revealed ourselves from the beginning?" Dr. Chen smiled. "The galaxy would have done what it always does with advanced species. Either tried to conquer us or absorb us into their existing power structures. Instead, we get to build something completely new. And if they ever discover the truth? By then, it won't matter. We'll have changed the galaxy so fundamentally that the old patterns of dominance and submission will be obsolete." She gestured at the mixed species construction crews. "This is the future, Marcus. Not conquest or assimilation, but true cooperation." The quiet planet in the outer rim continued its slow orbit around an unremarkable yellow star. To the galaxy at large, it remained home to a promising but primitive species just beginning to explore beyond their world. But hidden in the shadows of that system, the future of galactic civilization was being written by beings who understood that the greatest strength came not from standing above others, but from lifting each other up. And in the deepest archives of Project Black Box, Dr. Sarah Chen made the final entry in humanity's first contact protocols. Mission accomplished. The galaxy's education has begun.